A January Scrawlrbox. Let's see what we have. Hello guys, so this week's video is going to be a Scrawlrbox video. It's been a while since I've actually done a Scrawlrbox video. I did mention my last Scrawlrbox in a video, but I didn't really have favourable reviews for it. But this month, I'm just gonna see what's inside. So let's open it. Okay. So right off the bat, let's actually go inside here and pick out the artwork and the paper behind it. So we have this piece of artwork. It has growing on there. I like how it's lineless. I think that's interesting. There's the artist. Are you gonna focus for me, camera? No, don't think so. So let's just move the box over here, the artwork here. We have 2 sheets of paper. It's decent thickness. I wouldn't say it's like the most amazing thickest paper ever. So we have a sweet. This looks like a Werther's and I hate Werther's. Butter sweets cannot stand butter sweets. Okay, so right off the bat I can actually see 2 things hanging out the sides. So let's actually pull them out of this sleeve. So we have some pro markers. Okay. I would have preferred brush markers, but pro markers is good too. So just by looking at the colours, we have blush, spice and tan. I definitely have the colour blush already. I actually have a brush marker of blush as well as an old Letraset version of the pro marker blush. So I already have that one, but tan I'm not quite sure if I do have. I think I might. Spice though, I don't think I have spice. So that could be an interesting colour to work with. So let's actually pick up the rest of it. This is a mess now. I'm trying not to look at the menu card. We have a Scrawlrbox sticker as we usually do. That's fine. And then we have 2 micron pens. Oh, they're both 01. I don't think that's supposed to be a thing. Surely they wouldn't give you duplicates of the same pen. That's bad, okay? Like, at least they're good supplies, but you wouldn't want duplicates of the same art supply for an art subscription box. That is definitely a hiccup right there. I mean, I'm not disappointed with the supplies, I'm just disappointed the fact that it's a duplicate. So the next thing we have is a Pitt Artist pen in white. This is a bullet nib and it's a 1.5. I assume this is kind of like a white gel pen kind of thing. I hope it works because this could be a really good thing. I do actually own Pitt pens, but I don't have a white one. The last art supply we have in this box is the Faber-Castell 9000 Castell pencil, and this is really nice. Like, I have seen many pencils as an artist, but like this one just feels and looks amazing. I know, it's just a pencil, but it just, the aesthetics of this pencil is really satisfying to me. We also have a menu card as always, and I have noticed straight off the bat that this is not supposed to have 2.1s. I thought so because it says the Sakura Pigma Micron 0.1 and the Sakura Pigma Black brush pen. It's supposed to have a brush pen, not a second Micron 0.1. Now, so I said before that I was really disappointed with the fact that I got a dupe, but at the same time, I'm a very heavy-handed artist and I get through a lot of fine liner pens when they're 0.1 and smaller. So I will use both of them, especially when Inktober comes around this year. But at the same time, I'm still hugely disappointed with the fact that I didn't get what was specified in the menu card. So with that out the way, let's actually check out what paper we have. We have the Canaletto 160 GSM paper. It's the Lucia paper, and it's a 20% cotton acid-free paper, which is really nice. And the theme is growing up. My camera is having a field day trying to actually focus on anything. I'm so sorry. With that being said, let's actually get to do some artwork on the theme growing up. So starting off with talking about the drawing, I will say that the drawing was done digitally and then transferred onto this paper, and I did transfer it using the Faber-Castell 9000 pencil that I got inside the Scrawlrbox, and it was a joy to work with this pencil. It was just so smooth and it was really, really light. And the thing about light pencils is that they don't transfer much of the graphite if you go over it in another medium. And I know that it's a regular pencil, but it just feels so good to use, and it actually makes me want to look into maybe like a HB or a 2B version of this pencil, because it was just so nice. But I really do feel like I needed a little bit more graphite just so I can get more of a sketchy vibe into it. Doing the line work was actually really smooth, and I really enjoyed doing the line work. Before I get comments about it, yes, I did use another pen to line work this as well. This pen was the Spectrum Noir Art Liner brush pen, and this came in a previous Scrawlrbox. I used it incredibly sparingly, only around some of the edges of the drawing, and that was about it. For the most part, I used the 0.1 micron pen. However, there is a problem when I do come to colouring. And there is a debate on how long you should leave your line art before you colour it with the marker, and I did take a break in between lining it and colouring it because I cooked dinner and I was away from my art desk for a couple of hours, so I left it to dry. And the fact that it was still picking up and still smudging after a good 2 hours of leaving it to dry makes me think that it wasn't the markers, it wasn't the pens, it might have been the paper, because I use a thicker paper, and the thicker the paper is, the better it could absorb the fine liner ink, and that way it could actually make it drier for the markers to go on top. I think another personal reason why it smudged so badly while I was colouring is because I haven't used markers since Inktober. I'm very, very out of touch with bullet tip markers. I've been using Copics. Another issue I faced was trying to create depth, because there was hardly any difference between the colours in terms of like their shade. In an ideal world, a ideal 3-marker challenge would be to have a lighter tone, a mid-tone and a darker tone, so that way you could actually create the depth and create the contrast. But in this case, I couldn't do it because the colours were so similar with their colour values. You'll see it towards the end of the video, but I get so irritated by the fact that I can't create that depth and contrast because of the limited colours and lack of contrast, that I just bring out my watercolours and use the watercolours for the background. I do attempt to do some sort of contrast with the fine liner, but at the same time it just didn't work because of the amount of detail that was in the sketch in the first place. I just needed some darker, richer colours and I didn't have them. Looking back at this with hindsight, I really wish that Scrawlrbox wouldn't have given me the dupe, but instead of the dupe that was supposed to be a brush pen, they would have given me a 4th Pro marker in a darker colour. That way I would have been able to get more depth and get more contrast, and it would actually look somewhat decent. This is probably one of the worst results for Scrawlrbox that I've ever done. Were the materials bad? No. I think it was just a series of events that happened for me personally that just made the drawing go awry. However, I do have the sketch still digitally done, so I definitely will be redoing it at some point in the future. So here is how the final piece turned out. It's not my best, but I only really had 3 colours to work from, and the contrast wasn't really as much as I would have liked it to be. But I tried to make the most of what I had. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you can like and subscribe if you haven't already, and click the notification bell for notifications for every time I upload or live stream. I know I haven't been live streaming lately, but I want to get back into it. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!